Okay, so as you know, there are how many different string instruments?
I don't know.
You don't? Okay, so
6.
close. It's actually, well, technically 4 in the major orchestra. So you have the violin, which is the one that we're going to play today.
Okay.
The viola, which is a little bit bigger. The cello, which goes in between your knees. And then the bass, which you stand up with. So here's the violin. Yeah, be very careful. So with a violin, have you ever seen anybody play a violin before?
I have.
You have. How can you show me how you saw them? Good, very good, yeah. So what happens is we use a shoulder rest or like a chin rest. Yeah, this is the shoulder rest, this cushion. And then this is the chin rest or the jaw rest, whichever you prefer. And it just kind of clears the space in between your like neck and your chin, so that you're not like, if you don't have this, then you're like reaching over. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So you want to find the most comfortable spot. You can just adjust your shoulders rest to where your chin and your jaw line right up with the chin rest. Okay? Try to find it.
Like, does it?
Good, and let me see if I can push this up more. Does that feel comfortable?
No.
Okay. It looks uncomfortable. Maybe.
It's terribly uncomfortable.
Okay, now try. Is that any better?
No.
Try leaning your head this way, the other way. But not like a pillow, kind of. Yeah, that's better. Does that feel any better? It doesn't look like you're supporting this side either. Bring this, sorry. Now try. That looks a little better.
Sure.
Okay, we'll keep working with it. So, basically, what you want to do is it needs to be elongated out from your body, so put your chin back on it. Good. Good. Now try to let go of it. Yeah. So you need more pressure with this side. But your whole cheek, right now, your whole cheek's kind of on it. You just want like this part.
That hurts.
That hurts?
Is it supposed to hurt?
No. It's not supposed to be painful.
This is not. This is so painful.
Okay. Is that any better?
No.
I really think it's the shoulder strap. It might
It's
be
like hitting right
this
here.
too.
Do you want me to take this off?
No. Let's see.
I have a t-shirt on.
There we go. Or it could also be that this, like, because there might be more room in between my chin and neck, but you might need this smaller part of this. Right here. Now try. But this is supposed to support, so it's gotta be, yeah. That looks better.
That feels
A little better? Okay. So remember that. Good. And then your hand will come right here. And what they want to, how you kind of describe it is there's like a little mouse trap right here. So you're going to like have that. Good. And then your fingers rest on the strings. Good. I should be able to fit my fingers in between there.
Okay.
Good. And then that hand will obviously have the bow. Good. You can put it down now. We're going to talk about the bow for a little bit. So we have this saying, tighten your bow when you want to play, loosen your bow when you put it away. So I just got it out of my case and it's loose. As you see, the strings are almost touching the actual, yeah. So what you do is you turn it, I believe this is to the right, until like your pinky can fit in there.
Okay.
And then that means that it's ready to play. So how about we switch? I'm going to loosen it up for you. Good. Now try and see if you can. Good. Now see if your pinky will fit. Good. And one thing that you have to remember with the bows is that the bow hairs are very fragile. You don't want to touch them with your fingers because you'll get oils on them. You don't want to like put it on the ground. If for some reason one of the bows comes out, one of the bow strings comes out, you either cut it, but like pulling it probably won't be the best option because then you can pull other strings out as well.
Okay.
So now let's just talk about parts of the instrument. So we have the actual violin and we have the bow. If you had to guess, what would these be called?
Strings.
Strings, very good. And then below the strings, do you have any idea? This board right here?
Is that the fret?
Not the fret, it's the fingerboard.
Okay.
Fingerboard. Because your fingers go on the strings. And then this is just a scroll. Looks like a scroll, called the scroll.
Okay.
The pins are the knobs. These are F holes, where most of the sound comes out. And then, of course, you have your rest, your chin rest, your shoulder rest. And then these are your fine tuners, and these are your like actual tuners. So let's say that you just got your instrument and super out of tune. You're going to tune up here.
Okay.
But like in orchestra, when you see them, they get their concert A and they're playing, they usually tune down here with the fine tuners because it makes just little adjustments at a time.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and find your position again with your instrument. Yeah, let's see here.
That feels like good.
Does it?
Yeah.
It looks better. Okay. We're just going to pluck a few things.
Okay.
So the violin has how many strings?
4.
4. We start here. This is an E string.
Should I pluck this in?
Yeah. Good. Yeah, very good. And then it goes down by fifths. So E and then A. E, A. Pluck the A string for me. Good. So E, A. Do you have any idea what the next one might be?
No.
Okay. So by fifths, E, A, D. Good. Good. And then the last one is your G string. It's your, is that the lowest or the highest string?
That would be the lowest string.
Lowest string. Go ahead and pluck that one. Alright, so pluck your A string for me. Good. And your D string, your E string, and your G string. Pluck the highest string for me. Good. Okay, so we have that all down.
Okay.
We're going to learn the first 5 notes of the D major scale today. So find your D string. Good. And how this works is there's different finger positions for the violin.
Okay.
For this scale, it's going to be open, obviously, because it's just a D. Do you know the next letter name?
E.
E. Very good. And that's just going to be your first finger. So remember that mouse hole that we have? Good. And then, yep, just right there. So pluck that one. Good. And you can even probably pluck it down here.
Oh.
Good. Yeah. And so do you think that that sounds right? Or do you think
No.
maybe... Try it again. Now go D, E. Good. That sounds good. And so your next one, is it going to be a whole step or a half step? We've talked about that before.
E. That would be a whole step.
D, E. Good. A whole step because it's an F sharp.
Mm-hmm.
D, E, F sharp. And so for a whole step, it's going to be your second finger still, but it's going to be wider apart.
So 2 fingers.
Yep, 2 fingers down, and this one's going to be even wider apart. Good. Now, pluck that one. Good. Yeah, pluck it again. Now do your E. Good. So we have D, E, F sharp. The next note is what?
G.
G. And so is G a whole step or a half step away?
That would be a half step.
A half step, very good. So do you think that your finger needs to be far apart or closer together?
Is it just the first 2 or is it going to be the third one?
You're going to add your third finger.
So it would probably be closer, wouldn't it?
Close to the second finger. Good. So you have open for D, 1 for E, wider apart for E, or excuse me, F sharp, and then G is right next to. Good. Yeah.
Okay. And then the next one.
Good. Yeah. So we have D, E, F sharp, G,
Okay.
A. But technically you can just pluck the open A string for your 5th note.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so let's go back from the beginning. So D, E, oh, okay, so we really have to listen on string instruments like to get the perfect pitch. And so if we want to bring the pitch up, we bring our fingers down a little bit more. And if we want to bring the pitch down, bring our finger up a little bit more.
Okay, so.
See, that's good. Now try the D again. Dum, dum. Good. Good. Now the open. Good. Very good. So those 5 notes.
Okay.
Now let's talk about the bow and how we hold the bow. I'm going to take the instrument away. No more violin for you. So, there's a particular way that we have to hold this. We can't just, grab it, start playing, going crazy with it.
Yeah.
What you do is there's like a perfect little position here for your thumb, and it's like the edge of your thumb. Kind of, you know how your thumb's like kind of hard right there? Yeah, it'll be on this side of your thumb.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, it goes right there. This is called the frog. It goes right before there.
Okay.
So,
On the frog.
like this, yeah. And then your fingers are really loose. Like, there should be more balance here in the middle of the bow than there is at all here on this side of the bow. So, your thumb is there by the frog. And then your pinky is up on this part, right where the silver thing is. And then your fingers just kind of lay down and lean. They pronate this way.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so find your thumb position with the frog. Good. Yeah. Good. And then kind of just like let your fingers relax. Good. Bring your pinky up and pronate. Very good. Very good. Okay, so fun games. There's a couple fun games that we like to play. So one of the first ones is you get your bow position ready, and then you act like you have a big pot of stew or something. What do you want to put your favorite ingredients in your stew?
Beef.
Beef. We put our beef in, and we chop the beef up actually, and then we scoop it in, and then you stir it, and after you stir it, you have to make sure that your bow position, your bow hold, is still how it's supposed to be. So put your next ingredient in your stew.
Okay. So hold on. So
Let's check it. Good. Now make sure you're holding right here.
okay.
Good.
What do you want in this stew?
Some carrots.
Some carrots. So we chop them up. We
Good.
put
Scoop
them
them
in, and then we
Stir it. Yep. Good. Let's see. Yeah, and make sure your pinky is turned. You don't want it just flat on. You want it kind of pronated too. Better. And then you also want your pinky to be bent, never just flat out. Way better. Very good, very good. Okay, let's do one more bow game. This is my favorite one. It's called the Itsy Bitsy Spider. I forget what it's called. But you just kind of work your way up the bow. But you have to make sure you still have like the bow position. And then you work your way back down the bow, which is super difficult. But yeah, you work your way back down. And then you find your bow position again.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, now work your way up. And then for time, you can work your way back down.
Okay.
Cheat a little bit.
Yeah.
And then find your bow position again. Good. Bent pinky bow. Squishy pinky. There we go.
But then that's not there.
And then you want your thumb to be very flexible as well. Good. Very good. Okay, now let's go ahead and put the bow with the instrument. So find your position one more time for me. And then as a reminder, we have... Better?
Yeah. I got it now.
Open D.
Open D.
One finger E. Yep. Yep. Good. Very good. Okay. So, find your bow hold. Good. And what you do when you do this is you let all of the weight and the pull come from the instrument. You are not holding the bow. The instrument is holding the bow.
Okay.
And you're going to bow right here between the fingerboard.
Do I just pull it?
Yes. Good. And it's all about the speed of the bow. Good. But did you see how your thing went like this?
Nope.
Yeah. It kind of went like this, and you want to go straight. Good. Now try to just stay on the D string for right now. Okay.
That's so difficult.
So very slowly, I want to go D, D, E, E, F sharp.
Okay.
Slow as you need to go. Good ear. It's okay. And then open A. Okay, let's let's try it one more time. And I think what happened was your E, we brought it down too much, so it was
Okay.
super sharp. And then all the rest of our notes got a little bit higher too.
Yeah.
So let's just go D to E.
Okay. So. I'm so bad.
Yeah, and then bend your pinky. Good. On the bow. Sorry. There you go.
And do that.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. So then.
Good. That's it right there. So start back down. So D, D, E. Good.
Oh wait.
Good. Yeah. So that's the first 5 notes of the D major scale. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to learn how to put our instrument away properly. So what I do is I'll take the bow from you.
Okay.
I take off the shoulder rest and I just lay it up here in the case. And then go ahead and just lay your instrument right in. Yep, and you want to make sure it's nice and snug so it's not going to be moving around. And do you remember what I said about the bow?
You wanna loosen it before you put it in the case.
Very good.
So righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Good. So it's tighten your bow when you want to play. Loosen your bow when you put it away. And then good. Yeah, that's it. That's good.
Okay.
And then it goes right in here, like that. And then your shoulder rest goes here, and flip it back up.
Thanks, Teacher Ashley.